let's just say it's been some time since my last video, and um, it's a little, don't have not much to say about that. I think that my message was on point. I think everything I said was the way I really do feel, and I like that that was raw and honest. However, to some people, obviously, I was slightly out of my mind. I'm not going to get into too much detail because I don't want to get off the point. The point is young people stop smoking. But from my last video, that is really embarrassing. And even though I love a whole bunch of things I said and I still stay true to them, my eyes. Yeah. I was, in a nutshell. Help, I'm in a nutshell. How did I get into this nutshell? What kind of shell is like this? I'm sorry. I decided that I would keep my videos very raw, very honest, and this is just who I am, and love that from Austin Powers, Mike Myers. That was that was so cute, and I still use it all the time. But to get more to the point, I was dating someone who made me feel amazing. As you might know if you've followed me a little bit, I I have been and always have been in a really dark place, and I needed some kind of attention. And I think because here's the fact, I've been in therapy since I was 8 years old. It was sparked by my parents' divorce, but it goes so much deeper. And I have a whole bunch of other things going on with me. But that, I'm still a human being. I still went through all the same stuff every other teenager goes through or went through, or middle-aged 20-year-old or whatever. I think we all go through a lot of the same stuff. If you don't relate, you don't relate. There's nothing I can do about that. But I wanted to say that the only thing that made me feel better about myself was dating people who I knew were worse than me. And that's not okay, is that, and I can't be the only one, is that when you don't feel good about yourself, you end up subconsciously or consciously dating people who you know are worse than you, so that makes you feel better about yourself. And I actually dated someone like that for 2 years. In the middle of one of those years was that last video, and I have since, it's been over, well, almost a year. In 2 months it'll be a year that I finally realized that that person was toxic and not okay for me, and and left him, or got rid of him, or tried to. Anyway, it's a long story, but the point is that he convinced me that I was a bad person too. And when you're feeling really vulnerable, you believe anything that partner that you chose says. You chose them, so what they're saying must be true because you trust them. And that's just a fact. and it's really rough. So instead of this being just a non-smoking whatever this is, it's slowly turning into a don't be a shitty person kind of video. I don't think I am a shitty person. I think that I'm a good person who got caught up in a lot of shitty things. Before I send out any video, I watch the old ones from beginning to end. And I try and learn from them myself. And I try and learn, what was, I mean, everything. Everything I said in all those 3 videos was raw and honest. And I don't regret anything. I mean, it's embarrassing, but do I stand by what I said? Absolutely. Absolutely 100%. I mentioned in my earlier blogs that I lost my metabolism. Yep, definitely did. No, whatever. Not wearing a bra, COVID, But that brings me to another point, COVID-19. It's really important for those who are smokers to remember that that you are, it's my daughter, to remember that you are a smoker and therefore have lowered lung capacity. So this virus can affect you too. And I mean, I know that anyone under 40 is with no immunal issues is considering themselves, invincible against this virus. However, we're not, especially those of us who smoke, who have been longtime smokers. It's I'd say a 75% death sentence. So we need to keep in mind that even though the news isn't, jumping all over this, when they say people with lower immune systems, people with cancer, people with diabetes, people with anything, massive allergies, asthma, things like that, they're all massively affected. And I know at least 1,000 people who have asthma, not personally, but through friends of friends or family and all that stuff. So it's really concerning, and it also affects smokers, especially long-term ones, because we have been abusing our bodies and lungs for a really long time. And if a smoker catches or gets transmitted the COVID-19 virus, I would say our chances are about 50-50. Now, unfortunately, this is a public forum, so I have to make it clear I have no publicists, I have no special camera, I'm still filming on the same crappy camera I've, whatever, from my phone. But, I can't cover all my bases legally to be protected from whatever. But I'll say that everything I'm saying in my video is my opinion. But in my opinion, my educated opinion. And, I mean, nobody knows, not a lot of people know this, but especially you out there, that I'm very privileged to have a very bright father who, despite going through a lot of hardship, has, raising two little girls, 8 and 6, on his own is insane. And he's awkward. He was awkward, but he oh my God, he did a great job, and I respect him so much. And I'm very grateful that he found a lady who appreciates him too, and a family who appreciates him too, and he moved from where I live in Canada to the United States in California, and I'm very grateful to visit there as often as I can. Anyway, my stepmother happens to be a doctor and a professor at one of the most prestigious schools in all of California, or the Americas, Stanford University, and I'm very proud. And she happens to work with seniors too, and she's really dealing with some tough stuff. And I'm not going to get into it, but I think my point was that I'm embarrassed to be a smoker. I am to still be doing it. I think my first video I made was 4 years ago. And I can't stop. My makeup game's got a little bit better, but other than that, I can't stop. I can't. And I'm being really careful with this this I'm sorry, I can't stop playing with my hair. This virus, because it really very much affects all smokers, and I don't think that's being made clear enough on the media. I don't think it's made clear enough. I think everybody in the world is touched by someone they love who has cancer or diabetes or is a smoker, as simple as that. And this virus could potentially kill all of these people. So I think it desperately affects everybody. And I have to put my kids to bed now, but I just wanted to reach out and say something. I started this 4 years ago, and randomly I decided to look this up again and remember how passionate I was about stopping people from smoking, and I still feel just as passionate. I feel like I need to tell you an update. I saw my doctor before the whole virus thing became like a massive pandemic, and as far as I know, I'm still okay. Nothing serious, no cough, no, like my voice is slightly returned back to normal, but it's not great. We're so lucky to have amazing makeup for a price, of course. I used some of my money from stopping smoking during my lunch breaks to make up. I did lose my job temporarily. I work in customer service for credit card terminal installation. So if no businesses are open, then they don't need their credit card terminals, and there's no maintenance on that either. So it's affecting all of us, and there are some people I helped get installed or still work with or still worked with that I think about a lot. I feel, I mean, this is cheesy, but I work in customer service, and usually people just like to yell at us because they were hurt or unfairly treated by the company in general. But I I work for the company, but I am not the company. I do not make the rules. I do not. The point I'm trying to make is that I really do care about the people I work with, and I really hope that everyone's gonna get through this. I really do. On the opposite of the business side, I really hope that, like, a lot of my business professionals also have sick loved ones, and I know that, you know, Mary's brother has a daughter who has like intense diabetes or asthma. I know that Jackie has a husband who just got through cancer and survived it, and but his immune system is so low that, I mean, maybe he won't survive it because of this COVID-19 thing. And there's just so much going on right now. Maybe I should start writing stuff down so that I have like a plan when I make a video, but it's not my style. I prefer to just rant to you guys and embarrass myself, and then, you know, raw. Be raw. I like that. This whole COVID-19 thing is intense. And even though I'm a smoker and I don't feel particularly in danger or attacked by it, I feel that it's very necessary that I stay home and do whatever I can as a human being to protect the people around me. I know when I go grocery shopping, there's a couple of grumps, but for the most part, if we crash carts or we mistake our place in line or whatever, you know, usually I'm like, I'm so sorry, and they're like, me too, and maybe it's because we're Canadian, but it's there's a genuine love for each other where I live, and I am so grateful. And I'm a single mother with 2 kids, and I was just recently let go from my job because there's really nobody to serve, and there's nothing for me to do in this situation. So, where does that put me? What do I do? I can apply for unemployment in my country. I'm very lucky. I'm so lucky in Canada. So ridiculously lucky in my country. I mean, I don't think people people admit it or understand how freaking lucky we are in this country. I mean, you can get, this is just a bad example, but you can get pregnant at 16, be no job, be completely inadequate, no future, and the government will pay you a ridiculous amount of money just so that you and your kids can survive. And they'll give you even more money if you decide to try and make your life better. And they'll give you more money if there's an epidemic like this. And they'll just help you. Oh, and by the way, if you're even remotely sick, you have a cough, you have a sniffle, anything, usually, not always, but usually you can get an appointment at your local clinic if you don't have a family doctor. They'll take you that day or worse, the next. And you have a doctor's, it's covered by Medicare, and they'll even, if you ask, they'll write you a note saying this person showed up today and was legitimately sick. Sorry, employer, but they were, so suck it. This country is amazing. And I really feel for people in other countries, especially in the United States of America, that has the most, I'm not going to turn this into a political thing, but realistically, for someone who knows very little, they have, they're the most powerful economic country in the world, because they take money and treat their citizens like garbage. And the worst part is that since birth, these people are raised to think that their garbage country is there for them. And it's not. This is not the answer to all things, but since I'm putting it out there, I have to say that the biggest issue with the United States of America is not Trump. I mean, yeah, he sucks, but it's not him. It's education. You educate your citizens and your people and your patriots more, they will be too smart to ever vote in a president as dumb. That's it. Unfortunately, the United States of America has so many, they're not stupid, they're uneducated. They have so many, unfortunately, uneducated people in that country that someone like Donald Trump or worse can get elected by using cheap games in the media and whatever they want. It's really sad. The whole world sees it, and it just makes me grateful for being where I am. Justin Trudeau, I mean, people love him, people hate him, whatever, but that man is incredible. And I'm sorry I got political, but he is incredible. And you put any amazing person, like the highest person that you know in your life, and put them on a pedestal and tell them, here are 1,000 world issues. Please have the perfect response to every single one of them that serve everybody. It's impossible. We're people. We're humans. I don't care how educated you are. You don't have the answer to everything. You don't. My stepmother and my father are massively educated. Do they know anything about smoking? No. They never smoked anything in their entire lives. I know all about it. They know nothing. They can read all the books they freaking want, but they will never know. Anyway, I just, you know what? The only way for anyone to really make a difference or move forward and learn is to give them the time. And honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if honestly anyone who manages to become, who's smart enough to become elected, if you give them enough time and they're not evil, they may actually change the country for good. But the human race gets so fed up so fast that we don't give them enough time to actually learn. Like, kick them out and throw someone new in, and then we start back again from the beginning. And then that person has to learn all over again how the parliament works and how all of the departments work and how everything works. And they're educated and they learn stuff from all these great professionals who are hired all over the place. And this poor leader has to learn from scratch again. No matter what their ideals were from the beginning, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. Learn from this mistake, learn from this, learn from that. Don't be a jerk or an asshole. And then here you go. We're gonna help you learn. And they're on their way, and then some people are just like, it's not good enough. And then we kick them out and start all over again. It makes no sense. That's why I feel super bad for Americans, because the second a great president, I mean, everyone has their faults, but Obama was a pretty decent president. He had some issues, but he was decent. You know, you give him the world and say go, and then all these great people are teaching him new things, and he's learning from them, and he wasn't perfect, but he was learning, and he had a good heart. Everyone knew he had a good heart. And then after 8 years, it's like, I think it's 8 years in the States, it's like, okay, thank you. We're done now. Get out. We're going to start from scratch again and hope everything's perfect this time. It makes no sense. Anyway, now I've turned this video political. I'm sorry. It's just that when these things really affect someone, especially as ignorant as I am, it really gets to me. It really irritates me. It breaks my heart, but it also enrages me because I can't do anything about it. I can't scream at people and say, you know, give them a chance, or have some patience, or just, you know, shout positive instead of negative. Maybe they'll learn something. I don't know. I'm just very, very over the whole political system and everything that there has to do with it. It was a great idea at first. Now it's turning out to be kind of pointless almost, because nothing's changing. Things are getting better or worse. It seems like a massive waste of time. And like I said, I'm done. Anyway, like I wanted to say, we're approaching half an hour of me ranting. I just wanted to say that I'm alive and well, no diagnosis of anything cryptic or evil. I know people are super busy right now, but I'm speaking of like maybe 3 months ago, before this became a pandemic. I was diagnosed okay. So love you all. Take care of yourself. Just do what they say. Wash your hands. Stay away from people. you know, we'll be okay. Let's hope. And think about why you're doing it. It's for every other person you know in your entire life, okay?